Hey, and welcome back to another Animal Crossing video. Today is a special day. It's actually not really an Animal Crossing video, actually, now that I think about it. It's a 10K special, so thank you guys so much. We recently hit 10K on the channel. We actually passed 10K. We're now at 12.9, so I'm a little bit late, but it's been really fun. I promised you guys I would do a little bit of a face reveal, and so here you go. Hey! How's it going? I don't know why you guys were asking for a face reveal when my face is in my profile picture, but you know what? To each their own. It's fine. I'm just kidding. So, here's the actual reveal. Hey, how's it going? So, hi, I'm a real human being. I live. I'm not just a character on the computer. Thank you guys again so much for the 10K support. Like, we're actually past 10K. We're at like 12.9K. My cat is here. It would not be a Kuri video or a Kuri stream without this one just screaming for absolutely no reason. But thank you guys again. I super appreciate all your support. It's been like crazy. And yeah, let me fix the camera. Is that too high? I don't know how to webcam. I don't usually do this. Hi, can I help you? What's wrong, Julie? She's screaming, it's fine. So I don't usually look quite like this. I'm a little bit more dressed up. My hair does not have blonde in it as much as it used to, so I'm not accurate to my profile picture. I used to have blonde, but I did take a shower and get dressed for this video. You're welcome. Typically, I'm very lazy. I record a lot of my stuff in pajamas. I kind of look more like this.
Kuri, about the toilet paper situation.
But I did try actually a little bit harder today, just a little bit, to look presentable for today's video, so I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, so I figured we could do a kind of fun Q&A session where I had asked on my community tab as well as on my Discord if you guys had any questions for me. I'm just gonna go in order from my community tab into Discord. Just go down the questions that people have asked, and if you have any other questions, feel free to ask me in the comments, and I usually almost always reply. If not, I will read all of them, so feel free to just, you know, ask away. To get a couple of the questions that are very frequent, probably my most asked questions are, why did I start my YouTube channel for Animal Crossing? I think the biggest one for me was I was streaming on Twitch at the time when Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, and I was getting a lot of questions about different ways to do different things in Animal Crossing, whether it was like new players that had no idea how to play the game, or just general tutorials, or if they wanted some kind of tip or a trick on something. So I basically started it because I kept getting the same questions over and over again, and I thought it would be helpful to just have a video available for people to reference or find online and on YouTube. So I started it basically as a tutorial channel for Animal Crossing. I originally started my YouTube channel, I've had this channel since 2007, but way back in the day, they're all hidden now, is some old Maple Story music videos. So my channel itself has existed for a very long time, since the beginning of YouTube really, but really just started making videos recently, well, in 2020 for Animal Crossing. One is, what is my first Animal Crossing game? So I first played Animal Crossing on the GameCube. I remember when I was a kid, I saw the commercials with like the crazy mascots and like them pulling weeds and complaining about fishing and stuff, so I was like, oh, that's the game I want. So that was the first game on GameCube that I ever asked my mom for. Usually I would just mooch off my brother's games, but I actually really wanted it, and I was like, Mom, this is the game I actually really want. Can I get it for Christmas? And I did, and I spent the whole Christmas playing Animal Crossing on the GameCube. And since then, I've played all of them up to New Horizons, my favorites being the GameCube, New Leaf, and New Horizons, obviously. I have played all of the Animal Crossing besides the N64 one. That's the only one I haven't really played because it's Japan exclusive. Another one that I get kind of frequently, and it's just kind of more of a general question, is where can people send fan art or fan mail? I do have a P.O. box. It's right here. As of this video, obviously, I don't know if that'll change in the future, so if this video ends up being 100 years old, don't send stuff there, but that is currently where our P.O. box is. I also take digital fan art in my Discord or through email, and then I post it on my website, which is right here, kuri.com/fanart, so you can see anything that people have sent me on my actual website. One question I get, how many cats do I have? Well, here's one of them, Miss Julie, who keeps screaming, hi! Here she is. This is Miss Julie. She is a sweet bean. Absolutely precious little girl. Very shy. She is what I like to call Tin's favorite. But I love her. I love her a bunch. This one is Miss Tilly Two Shoes. She is the feisty one and the alpha female, and she beats up everybody else, but she's my buddy. And I love her. She's so sweet. She's always by my side, so she's a very good girl. She is a sister with Julie, who just walked in. And last but not least, we have Mr. Samson Gooberfield. He is the oldest. He's about 7 years old now. But he is a sweet, sweet boy. He looks miserable all the time, but he's just the sweetest cat in the world. He's like really, really friendly, and he loves when people come over and stuff. So very friendly cat. He looks huge, but he's actually more lightweight than the other gray one, Miss Tilly. I love my cats. I wouldn't change them for anything, no matter how chaotic. So another question I get kind of frequently is like, when do I live stream versus when do I post videos? I kind of try to post videos every other day or every 2 days or so, based on my schedule and what I can have regularly available. For live streams, I stream on twitch.tv/Kuri on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then on YouTube, I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and occasionally the weekends if I have some time. So I think that covers all of the general questions that I get very frequently that may or may not have been in my comments, or they were at some point. So that should cover all the general questions that I think I get most frequently, and then I'll go through the YouTube first, and then I will go through the Discord ones. So the first question, what inspired me to make videos in the first place? I actually already answered that, so we can pass on to that one. So here is one that says, what do you think the essentials are to island redesign, and how do you come up with redesign areas? So for me, one thing I like to do is do everything in small sections. I won't plan out an entire area. A lot of times what I do is I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work on this little section first. What can fit in that space? Like if it's really small, what's small that can fit in that space? If I have a wide space, what can fit in there? So maybe a wide one could be like a boat port or a farm or a big forest. Alternatively, if it was a really small space, maybe I could fit a tiny little cafe or a reading nook, library type of outdoor library type of area. So really it depends on what the space is and how big it is, and then kind of thinking about what do I not have on my island so far yet that I think would be a nice addition for my villagers and for myself. So this one is a good one. Who is the first villager you remember interacting with in all of Animal Crossing? Besides Tom Nook and Rover, because those are like the intro characters, Bob was my first villager. That is actually one of the reasons he's one of my favorite, is Bob and Vesta were my first two villagers in GameCube when I first played when I was like 10 or 11 years old. But Bob is definitely the first one that I ever remember, and that's why he has a special place in my heart because of that reason. Other than Animal Crossing, what is your favorite Switch game? So I actually have a couple of really good ones I like. Zelda Breath of the Wild honestly was such an incredible Zelda experience. I'm a huge Zelda fan, so I was super invested in Zelda Breath of the Wild. I loved that game. Highly recommend it, especially if you like Zelda games. Other games I really like, I think I spent the most time besides Animal Crossing, was a game called Dragon Quest Builders 2, and it's on Switch. Basically, it's kind of a quest story-based game, but you start to learn how to build things as the game progresses, and you have an entire 3 islands to basically make however you want in line with whatever you're designing, but also you get an entire island to yourself to completely design block by block for the environment and the houses and the NPCs that are there. It is a really good game. I highly recommend it if you like kind of Minecraft mixed with Animal Crossing, sort of, but it's also very unique in its own way. And a lot of times I'm thinking of like parallels that I wish they would bring over to Animal Crossing that were in Dragon Quest Builders 2. Also, the music in it is absolutely amazing. If I'm looking for a game on Switch that is kind of more of a board game / competitive game, kind of like Mario Party, but it also destroys friendships, I've been really enjoying Billion Road. That one is super fun. It has a lot of Dokapon Kingdom vibes for the Wii. I don't know if you've ever played that. It's also kind of an obscure game, but it's super nice and really fun and kind of chaotic. What are some of my favorite songs? So I'm really into Hey Ocean right now. They're kind of like an indie pop type of band. Islands by them is really nice. I also really like Starcadian. I think Ultra Love, Chinatown are super good. I really like Studio Killers. Eros and Apollo by them is awesome. There's just like a lot of good music out there. I actually primarily listen to like orchestrated versions of video game music. So anything orchestrated, especially Zelda or Dragon Quest, pretty much anything anything orchestrated I'm like super into. Curious how I came to the opportunity to do a video with Abdallah. So this was a really fun video that Abdallah reached out to me actually about, because I've worked with him on his videos before. I kind of help him out with some content creation and stuff on the side, but he was like, hey, I think it would be really cool to have kind of like a Q&A where we talk to each other about Animal Crossing stuff. So he invited me to be on his channel for that, and I helped him edit it and all that jazz, and it was really nice. He's a super chill dude and has a lot of really informative videos, so it was really nice to be able to work with somebody like that. Not a question, but not really. I just want to see your cat photos. I hope showing the cats kind of worked out. If not, here's one. Cat photos. So here's a kind of help question, which I love these kind of questions, by the way. So I'm just starting out making ACNH videos. I don't have any fancy equipment, low budget, and I was wondering how you got followers starting out or even likes on videos. Congratulations on 10K. So I started streaming like 6 years ago on Twitch, and I had a old MacBook Pro like on a fold out chair with a garbage microphone and just like plugged it in. I would say for Nintendo content or any console content in general, you will absolutely need a capture card. Another thing that's very important for me anyway, especially as a viewer, is if they have a good microphone. If the microphone sounds really bad, I immediately click away from videos. So something that I always pay attention to with streamers or with videos in general is, how does the mic sound? Because if I can't get through it listening to it, I'm not going to end up watching it either. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. As for growing my followers, I did have kind of a, I don't want to say an advantage, but like I did have a lot of my Twitch viewers come and watch my tutorials because that's where people were asking me. So by doing tutorials and then being able to direct them during my live stream to those tutorials to help answer their questions, I think that's what started kind of pushing my videos kind of out into the YouTube algorithm and stuff. But overall, really just consistency. I would say if you can post like 2 videos a week or 1 video a week, make it consistent, make it as quality as you can, share it on social media. I tend to post Twitch channel, not on other people's channels, but when I'm streaming, I'll say, hey, I have a new video out. Here's the link to check it out. Also on my Facebook group and on, did I say Twitter already? Well, it's on Twitter as well. I kind of post them on my social media, say, hey, this is my new video out. If you're interested, here's the link type of thing. That can kind of get a few people to check it out, and if they like it, then they'll hit the like button. I try not to ask too much. Usually I'll only ask people to like it at the very end of the video. I don't like videos starting out really pushy. I find that kind of obnoxious when the first 2 minutes are like, don't forget to like and check out my Patreon and blah, 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 blah. I saved all of that for the end, and I feel like a lot of people appreciate not having to sit through 2 minutes just to get to the point of the video. Yeah, so those are all of the questions on my YouTube. All right, moving on to the Discord questions. So I had a room in my Discord specifically for the Q&A, and I'm just gonna go straight down the list. If I've answered it already, I'll make note of that, but so question, will you ever do stream highlights, like basically edited videos of stream? So I tried doing that. I actually had a YouTube called Kuri Archives. I ended up not really doing much with it. I posted like my Mario 64 gameplay. I find that Twitch streams aren't really watchable and or as enjoyable on YouTube. I'm not against it. I do highlight videos sometimes. So I've had Twitch highlights of 20. I usually do a year-end highlight of whatever the game is, or for Super Mario Sunshine, I had like a Super Mario Sunshine clips from Twitch on my YouTube. So small things like that that are kind of easier to edit or compilate and have it be enjoyable content, I definitely will post on my main channel, which is this one. I do want to start having a Let's Play channel, so I changed Kuri Archives to just Kuri Plays. So I think what I'm going to start doing over there is either sharing my Twitch streams that I've had as kind of still an archive, but also I'd like to start doing more Let's Play style stuff where there's not really any editing to it. It's just start to finish 15 to 30 to an hour long video where I just kind of play whatever game I feel like and then post it. I don't know if that answered the question, but oh yeah, will you do more content outside of Animal Crossing? So that was actually the second part of the question. Yes. It would probably be on my Kuri Plays channel if I was just playing the game, but I'll probably do more live streams on this channel where I just kind of live stream whatever game that's for funsies. I also want to do more deep dives. I really enjoyed doing a lot of those deep dives, like digging through trailers was super fun. So I'd like to start doing that for other games too. So when Zelda Breath of the Wild comes out, or Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, sorry, if their trailer trailer comes out, I'd love to do like kind of a deep dive on the Zelda stuff. Anything that I'm really knowledgeable in, especially for Nintendo games, I'd really like to start diving into the trailers with everybody and doing more of that type of content, just because I really enjoy it a lot. So what sort of stuff do you like to do in your downtime other than play video games? I play a lot of games, but I would say I like drawing a lot. I am a graphic designer, so a lot of my time when I'm not editing or doing videos is designing stuff, whether it's a logo or Twitch emotes or my own personal stuff. So I spend a lot of time sketching and drawing. Currently, what I'm doing in my downtime is learning piano. It's something I've always wanted to learn, and I recently started getting lessons, so I've been practicing piano a lot because I really, really want to get good at it and be able to properly like play something. So that's kind of what I've been spending a lot of my free time on. When, you know, the Panini wasn't going on, Tin and I used to love going to conventions. So we would go to PAX, we would go to TwitchCon or, you know, Gen Con. We really like traveling a lot and spending time with friends and like meeting up with people. So I think as the world starts to kind of turn into normalcy again, that'll be something we start doing again as well. Villagers with pants. Yes, 100%. Marshall would look so cute in his jeans, I'm just saying. Are there going to be any other things you do on your channel, different games possibly? So this kind of goes in line with the other one that I mentioned, where I'll definitely do some deep dives if people are interested. The only issue I've had was I really wanted to do more games. I kind of sprinkled in Stardew Valley and Minecraft content into my channel. Unfortunately, with the way YouTube works, it kind of tanked my channel for a while and stopped like pushing my stuff to my subscribers because the subscribers weren't watching that content. So YouTube was like, oh, they don't really like watching her anymore. We're just not going to send out notifications or anything like that. So it's hard to say. I really want to do more stuff, but at the same time, I also want to find that nice balance where, you know, YouTube is happy, my audience is happy, and I'm happy, you know? So I think for extra games and extra gameplay, I'll probably put it on over to the Kuri Plays channel instead of filling up this one and kind of like confusing the YouTube algorithm and my audience that I currently have. So this is a really nice question. Who were the people in your life that inspired you to not give up and people who are always supporting you? I would say, you know, Tin, my fiance, he's like my number one supporter. He's like my biggest cheerleader. He definitely is the one that said, you can do this. You can absolutely do this. Like, I believe in you. I think you have a chance of, you know, making great stuff. Just keep going. And so he supported me with my freelance career when I first moved. He supported me with my Twitch channel when I was pushing for partnership, which I never hit. And he supported me with my YouTube channel. So Tin is definitely my number one person. Also just my, you know, my community in general. Everybody is like super supportive. They come over to from YouTube, they go to my Twitch, and from Twitch, they go to my YouTube. Or, you know, like sometimes they'll commission me for art stuff, and they really keep me going with, you know, being a content creator full time rather than part time. So a question, are you going to do more Stardew Valley content? I would really like to. Again, it kind of goes back to whether my audience watches it and whether YouTube will, you know, kill my channel if I keep doing that. That's kind of always like a very scary thing for content creators. That's why a lot of people have generally like one game they stick to. I would like to bring back the Stardew Valley stuff. I have a whole playlist with like, I don't know, like 14 episodes, but I love Stardew Valley and I would definitely love to do it again. Worst case scenario, again, I'll put it on the Kuri Plays channel eventually, and we'll just kind of like transfer all the gameplay stuff through there. But something I really enjoy a lot, I play it on Twitch streams sometimes in multiplayer, and you know, I'd like to play it on YouTube again as well. Out of I like this question a lot. Being out of every video that you've made, which is the most special to you? I would have to say the egg video. So we did a video for, there's actually two that come to mind right away. The Olympic video and the egg video. So I did a video for Bunny Day, and what I did was I just opened my gates on Twitch, I opened my gates on YouTube, and I recorded anybody we could fit in that video to be in that video. And it was really, really fun because it was really community focused. Like, the video had no purpose other than to be kind of a funny music video. But what made it so special to me was that so many of you guys were part of it. So we had probably like, I don't know, maybe like 20 to 30 different people in that video itself. And to me, that was like really, really special because it's like, I get to make something and have you guys be a part of it. So that's kind of why those types of videos, same with the Olympic one, I had friends come over, we all had matching jackets and stuff. Those types of videos where the community gets involved always are more meaningful to me, because it's something that, you know, I get to connect with my audience in, and I get to have my audience with me in those types of videos. And for me, that makes it so much more special than any other tutorial or any other tour or any other anything that I could possibly do. Would you either set Southperry or Orne? So Orne is kind of interesting. So for those that don't know, Southperry is my northern hemisphere island and Orne is my southern hemisphere island. Southperry, I don't think I could ever reset. It is my very first island. It was my first experience with New Horizons. Even though I don't like the placement, I don't like the rocks, I don't like the beaches. Like, there's a lot of stuff about Southperry's layout that I can't change and I don't like, but I could never change it because it's just, I have so many memories. I have so many like hours of dedicated time. I'm gonna basically change it, but I would never reset Southperry. It's so meaningful to me. Orne is my combined island with Tin. I don't think I need to because I kind of had that reset experience when I did make Orne, because it was like a year later. If it came down to it, if it was like a life or death situation, I would reset Orne over Southperry, but I don't think I'm going to be changing it, or like not changing, but I don't think I'm going to be completely resetting either of them. I think if anything, I would just like flatten them and kind of rebuild from there. Also, question 2, Sylvana, yes, she's very cute. Question, do you like Pekoe? Yes, she's very cute as well. What was your reasoning about getting into YouTube videos about video games? So I kind of answered this earlier. Oh, my cat's on my desk. So if the camera's shaking, you know why. I answered this a little bit earlier about why I started making Animal Crossing YouTube videos, but really I had started making YouTube videos a long time ago just in gaming general stuff. And it's just because I really like games. Like, the reason I started streaming is an interesting one because I was dating this guy at the time and I was playing too many video games, and he was like, you play too many video games, you should do something more productive with your time. And I was like, okay. So then I started streaming to be like, well, I'm being productive while playing video games. So yeah, for videos, like, I really like games and I like content creating, and I just think it's fun to share an experience with other people, really. What would you say are major influences when it comes to your work, or what gets you excited to create? Ooh. That's tough. So there's a lot of really great content creators out on YouTube. There's so many things that it's like to learn. I think the experience and the most motivating thing to influence me or to get me excited is to try new techniques with editing. Editing is something I've always wanted to do. When I was in high school, I really wanted to be a video editor, and I asked my mom, like, hey, I want to go to college for video editing and video production, and she was like, let's get you a degree that can get you a job. I've always definitely been interested in video production in general since like 2007 or so, 2006. I think just like I watch a lot of vlogs, like travel vlogs. I watch a lot of, gaming channels. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I really kind of love absorbing the techniques and things that I like about other videos, and kind of seeing and experimenting around with like different ways to edit. So my editing from when I started this YouTube channel is very, very different than where I am now. One thing that I love editing to, and this just comes from me like making old MapleStory videos back in 2007, anytime I get to edit with music, or like my Animal Crossing music videos, those are probably the most exciting and fun things for me that I'd really like to do more of, because I love music. I used to be a dance teacher, so editing with music is almost kind of like choreographing a video story, and it's just super, super fun. This is an interesting. Wait, that was not English. How long do you typically spend on editing a video? So editing is tricky because it really ranges. I would say for like a Stardew Valley video, those are very simple to edit. I just cut out any dead air. So all of those jump cuts are just dead air that I got rid of. And that for about it's usually about a half an hour recording, and I edit it down to 15 minutes. That can take probably about 2 hours. For longer stuff, especially if I'm writing a script or if I am recording a lot of footage, that can take probably like days. Like I think the longest, which is the next question, what's the longest you've edited a video? I would say the longest was probably a couple of days. And that was like consistently working on it for hours at a time. Like I usually edit from anywhere from like 2 to 6 hours at a time, And so it super ranges, to be honest, and it really depends on the video. I'll have to pay attention next time to see like a start to finish. But I would say the average is probably about 4 hours, maybe 4 to 6 hours each for very standard Animal Crossing videos that are not necessarily tutorials, but for like the deep dives, those definitely took a lot longer. Those probably took about 6 hours. For tutorials, depending on the tutorial, anywhere from like 2 to 7. What's your favorite part about the Animal Crossing update, and what's your least favorite part? Ooh, my least favorite part is needing Nook Miles for everything because I am Nook Mile broke. But my favorite, honestly, my favorite part, there's so many good parts to the update. It's really, really hard to just pick one. I really like the Captain Islands. I also really like, you know, one thing that is underrated that I didn't realize how much I would enjoy is Sahara. I can actually get good rugs from her when usually she gives me garbage. I think the Happy Home Paradise, if that counts as part of the update, even though it's not technically part of the update, Happy Home Paradise, I've definitely been spending the most amount of time and been most excited for. What's your favorite song to play on otamatone? So I have 2 songs I really enjoy playing. I like playing Captain Song, specifically the one from Super Smash Brothers. And then I also really enjoy playing a song called Happy Life from a game called Fantasy Life for the 3DS. And I like to alternate that song from the otamatone to the melodica during whenever I am playing it, just because it's fun. Starting out being a content creator, what advice can you give that you wish you had when you started? Consistency. Make videos consistently. It doesn't matter how many a week. Don't feel like you have to push one out every day. Just twice a week on specific days so people can start knowing when your videos are coming out. That is probably the most helpful thing you could do, because if you post them on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then like some weeks are like Wednesdays and Saturdays, and it's especially if it's a series, it's hard to keep track of like when you're going to post them. And a lot of times people will be like, oh, they're not going to check your channel. Whereas if they remember what days you post, they'll start going to your channel on that day. Another thing is take your time. Like, don't rush to get everything out. It's so hard as a content creator, especially when updates and stuff happen. You want to push out as much stuff as possible because this is a unique time and opportunity when there's like an update or when something eventful happens. Take your time with it and don't stress about getting it out fast. Get more worry about getting out quality that you're happy with. I would say my biggest advice to anybody creating content, every time you edit a video, sit down and watch your own video. If you can sit and enjoy your content, maybe laugh a couple of times from start to finish without checking your phone, without looking at something on your desk, without bringing up Twitter, without looking at Facebook, if you can get through your video from start to finish and enjoy it, that's a good thing to do. That just means you made a great video. You are enjoying your own video. If you check your phone or like start getting distracted during it, find out where in the video you're getting distracted and see what you can change to make it more engaging and something that you want to actually watch. Because if you don't want to watch your own video, how can you expect other people to want to watch your own video? So that's kind of my rule of thumb when it comes to like making content. If I can't sit through my own stuff, how can I expect anyone else to? What country am I from? I am from the USA. Woohoo! If you couldn't tell by my accent. Are you in college or are you done with school? I am done with school. I graduated college many years ago. I have a degree in graphic design and interactive media. I dual majored in those two, but technically it's in communications media. Who is my favorite villagers and my favorite NPC? So I would say Bob, for sure, and Vesta, obviously. If you guys have watched my stuff, you know how much I love Vesta. My favorite NPC I think might be Blathers or Sable, because they're kind of like, they have a lot of backstory to them, and I'm definitely invested in characters that have lore behind them, and I think that's something about those two I just really like because of how much lore they have. What is my favorite KK song or song you're most likely to listen to every day? I would say I really like KK Cafe. It's very nice. There's a lot of good versions out there too of KK Cafe that actually use like accordions and stuff. That's on YouTube. You can like look it up. But any kind of like waltzy sounding ones I like. I really like the Marine song from 2001. You know, just anything like that's kind of cutesy. Bubblegum KK, classic. But I would say KK Cafe is my favorite. Where would you put ACNH now that it's had its 2.0 update? Same spot it was. My favorite Animal Crossing game. As a veteran of Animal Crossing who has played through the GameCube one, the Wild World one, City Folk, New Leaf, Pocket Camp, Amiibo Festival, New Horizons is on the top, like for sure. There's no question. There's so much to do in New Horizons that people forget how little there was to do in the previous games, but New Horizons has always been my favorite since it came out. Even if it seemed lacking at times, it's still my favorite. Even though you always play New Horizons, is there any other Animal Crossings that you like, such as New Leaf or City Folk? So I loved New Leaf and GameCube. So GameCube was actually my favorite for a long time. It was very hard to compete. Wild World I enjoyed, but I didn't like how much dirt was around the rivers and like from in front of houses. I didn't like that you had to water your flowers because my flowers were always dying. And I didn't like how curved the world was. It kind of gave me a little bit of motion sickness, but I still played it. City Folk I liked more, but there was still like kind of, there's a cat on my desk. There was still like an animal tracks is what they called it, where anytime you walked anywhere or ran anywhere, there would just be dirt. And I like a lot of grass in my Animal Crossing games, so that was another thing that kind of bothered me because the animal tracks were so drastic in City Folk. It kind of was like, eh. New Leaf was my favorite after all of those ones. I loved New Leaf. I've put hours into New Leaf. I've streamed New Leaf. I consumed Animal Crossing New Leaf content on YouTube. I watched it like religiously. I'd play it on the subway on the way to work. Like, I was very heavily invested in New Leaf, and New Leaf is actually how I met my fiance. So New Leaf has a special spot in my heart. I love Animal Crossing New Horizons, but I would say in order from top 3, New Horizons, New Leaf, and GameCube. And I think that's about it. Those are all the questions in Discord. I hope that answered a lot of fun questions. If you guys have any more questions for me, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll reply to whatever. Thank you guys for hanging out and supporting me for all the we're at 12,900 subscribers, which is crazy. I'm sorry I'm late to this. It was supposed to be at 10K and I didn't expect it to go that quick. But thank you guys. Like, seriously, it means so much to me. It's just crazy how much support and how much love you have given me through, you know, comments or live streams or hanging out wherever on any social media. Just, it's really cool, and definitely not something I ever expected for my channel, but I'm really honored and, you know, just amazed that we can have such a really nice community together. So thank you so much for everything you guys do. A quick thank you to my patrons and members. You guys seriously help me out so much to continue doing this full time, and being like kind of freelance content creator. It's so helpful and it means a lot to me. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye! I usually run away. I always run away in the game, but I don't feel like running, so you're stuck with me till the end. See ya.